Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the new Eternia figure Teela by Mattel. Now, so far I've been really liking this line. I've been liking a lot of these new Eternia figures. Matter of fact, I find it kind of odd that Teela is now just coming out. I figured she would have been one of the first ones because she is a main character in all the storylines. So we're going to see what they do with her. And don't forget to check out my membership program for a small monthly fee. You get a whole bunch of extra stuff that other people don't get to see. So without any further ado, roll that intro. All right, so here she is in packaging. So first you got your Mattel logo, your age restrictions, 30 points of articulation. Then you got your Masterverse there. All right. You get a small window so you can see her and her spear. You got her name here, New Eternia. And you got this artwork. I like the artwork. This looks pretty cool. You got some sort of fish man down here coming at her. All right. Of course, it's wraparound art. You do have a horse here. I know in the original mini comics, they actually had her on a horse, so that might be the reasoning for the horse behind her. You got the old style Castle Grayskull, which looks really nice. Oh, let's turn it that way so you can actually see it. All right. And then you have this picture of her here, so you have her in her full gear. A couple of different poses of her. A little bit about her. And her with the goddess snake headpiece on, which looks really nice. The other figures that are part of this lineup. All right. Come around here. You get a nice head sculpt of her. And a nice profile picture. I actually like that profile picture. That looks really cool. And then back around to the front. And then underneath is your legal and SKU. So with all that being said, let's open her up and see what she's about. So here she is out of packaging. She isn't a bad looking figure. The first thing we're going to do is go through her points of articulation. So the head does move. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel, an elbow joint, and a wrist joint. All right. Get that arm up. Get this arm up. You have a joint underneath the breast. You have one right at the hips. All right. You do have a thigh joint with a swivel. All right. Get that leg back in place. You get a knee joint. Swivel at the top of the boot. And you do get an ankle joint. All right. So everything seems to move pretty well on her. I don't have any real issues with any of her joints. All right. So now let's get into her finer details. So first off, you got the head sculpt. I do like the head sculpt. It looks pretty good. You know, they definitely put some real, time into it. All right. I don't know how I like how her eyes look. They kind of look like they're looking up a little. But overall, it still ain't bad looking. It has that classic Teela look to it. All right. So now you get down into her armament here. I like the design for it. It's very classic Masters of the Universe Teela. And if you look in her armament, she got all these little swirls cut in. I kind of like that. I think that's a nice bit of detail in her. The same with this fur around the collar piece here. I kind of like that as well. I think that looks really nice. And her overall profile just looks pretty cool. All the way down to the boots and what have you. Around to this side. Get a good look at everything from that side. And to the back. You see more of these swirls and stuff in there. You know, that's some really nice detail. And I like the loop effect. Like, it's almost like a chain loop effect. So that's pretty nice. And then you come to her arm. You can see the upper band and her gauntlet. So overall, I think she's a pretty decent looking figure. All right, so now let's take a look at all her accessories. So she comes with 2 closed fists. We have 1 and 2. All right. She comes with her iconic shield. A little bit bigger than the original one. I think the original Teela didn't come with a shield. She came with a buckler, which is basically a smaller shield. But I still like the bigger shield with her. That works. All right, she comes with our iconic staff. All right, I do like that. That looks pretty neat. I like the blending colors in this. So, like, got like this copperish look in the eye, and then this centerpiece, and then you get this darker copper look. So I do like the color coding to this. All right, next she has a spear. All right, and even this has the little snakes on either side. And last but not least, she has her iconic headpiece. I like the golden eyes. I think I would have liked to have seen this been a little bit more red, a little bit more of a reminiscent to the original one, but it still works. Matter of fact, this will be the first thing we put on her. Now, unlike the original one had straps that would like strap around her, where this one, it just looks like it just kind of locks into place on her head. Right? She'll cooperate here. All right. All right, so there you go. There's the headpiece. I like that on her. I think that looks really nice. You know, like I said, I would prefer that more of a darker red like the original. It's almost like a dang it, I can't think of the color now, but it's a darker red that I like. And you know, I think that would have worked a little bit better, but this still looks pretty cool. All right, let's get her staff and spear. Burgundy, that's the color I was thinking of. Thinking of the color burgundy. All right, so there's your staff and her spear. All right. That around. So as you can see, both the staff and spear fits fine in her hands. No issues. I like both of them actually. They both look really cool with her. I think I would have liked to have also seen a sword come with her. I think that would have just topped it off for me, but both weapons still work well with her. And then the shield. I'll take the hand off to put the shield on, because usually with these shields, it's just a lot easier to take the hand off instead of trying to work it over it. So we're going to put our closed fist on here. All right. If I could get the right hand. All right, so let's work this fist in here. And maybe. All right, hold on. I don't want to go in there. Now, I notice with these new Eternia figures, these hands are really tight to get in there. So I'm going to try to slide this over the fist. I don't know how well that's going to work. It'd be better to take it off. Well, let's take this one off. That actually came off pretty easily. Put that one in. All right. I got that arm in there. Work this fist in there. There we go. All right. So both fists are on. No issues. It fits in there nicely along the straps. Like I said, it's just easier to take a hand off to put the shield on. You know, opposed to trying to really fit that strap over it. But the shield goes on really well. I have no issues with that. So all her accessories work very well with this figure. Okay, so let me get into my final thoughts with her. So first off, all her joints work very well. I have no issues with that. All her accessories fit on her pretty well, so I have no issues with them either. And she's overall a pretty good looking figure. So would I recommend her? Yes, I would. I think she would be a great addition to your new Eternia line. Probably my only real beef, and this is a personal beef, is I would have liked it if she would have came with a sword too. I always liked Teela having a sword, even though the original figure didn't. It's still a nice touch I always liked when they gave her one. But other than that, I think she's an excellent figure. I think she'll go great with the rest of your new Eternia figures and other Masters of the Universe collectibles. So, with that being said, I hope you did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist. And I just started a membership program. So, for a low monthly fee, you get a whole lot of extra stuff that other people don't get. And hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.